Hi, everybody. One of the things that I hear all the time is these intermittent interpretations, if you will, of what is coaching. Coaching is really about driving someone awareness, getting them to look in the mirror, and then number two, taking action on number one. Very few people do number one alone. Here's the funny thing is when we give feedback, it can actually tremendously undermine step one. So if I go up to someone and say, why would you do it that way? It just doesn't seem like that's working. And I could be right. That's going to have an impact on the other person. Now, if I were to approach that person and say, so what are your thoughts on the way you're doing that? And, educate me on the steps you're taking. And if you're cool with it, I'd love to share with you a couple of my ideas. Which one would elicit a more calm reaction? So when we're driving self awareness, feedback alone can actually trigger a lack of self awareness, such as Bob, a lot of people on the team are getting really frustrated with you. No matter what I say after that, all Bob did was take his mind to who said it, why didn't they come to me? And there's an acceleration of internal thought in that man's head versus Bob, what are some things we can do to accelerate the engagement of the team? And what's maybe one thing I could do to do that? What's something that maybe you could do? I'd love to have an open discussion. Now, someone might argue the second approach is, well, Tim, that's really soft and that's cuddly and that's not getting, you're not hitting the thing head on. Right. Not hitting it head on. I want Bob to develop self-awareness, not resilience and rejection to feedback. I want Bob to look in the mirror. So sometimes just plowing forward doesn't always work. How do I know this? How many of you have been in a semester, year-long class in feedback on how to seek it and accept it? What we've uncovered over 32 years of progress coaching is people are triggered. So when somebody has a reaction, so if you're talking and somebody goes, arms folded, okay, that's going to cause a reaction. So being present, asking questions that start with the word what. See, when we use feedback and feedback alone, most people will dismiss or accept feedback based on agreement or disagreement. I cannot tell you in 32 years how often daily inside corporate settings I'll hear somebody say, well, he said this, there's no way. I mean, I didn't do that. It wasn't just me. I hear it all the time. And so when we look in the mirror, it is tough. Number two, being honest with that person in the mirror is really tough. And we all have blind spots. So how do we do that? Think about combining feedback and coaching together. So if I were to say, Carrie, I think you have an awesome opportunity to maintain greater engagement in the classroom. Hearing that, what goes to your mind? What do you think you do well? And what do you think we could potentially explore together to help each other improve? Notice what? I use the word and, not the word but. I started off with the strength. So, what are some things you do well that builds momentum in the conversation? Don't underestimate what we say has impact. Don't underestimate our nonverbals have impact. Don't underestimate that feedback and feedback alone without coaching could build resistance to self awareness, to coaching, to leadership. So, what we have to do is drive self awareness. You can combine feedback and put the word and in there. And what do you think we could do to facilitate that successfully? What do you think we could do together to assist one another? So when you lead with feedback, insert the word and then use a what question. It's a very safe way to drive self awareness. Let me know your thoughts, everybody.